Good morning and welcome back to another 5 question testimony. Today we are joined by Brian. Good morning, Brian.
Morning, Becky.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Brilliant. So Brian, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Stoke-on-Trent in the Potteries. Um, I was born there. We moved from there when I was about 5 3/4 and moved from there to Somerset, to Yeovil. And that's where I basically grew up most of the time I can remember being in Yeovil. And I was in Yeovil until I worked. I left school at 15, worked through to 20, went to college. I wanted to be a signwriter, and so I left Yeovil to get a job in the Bournemouth area because the only place I could get a job signwriting. And so I moved to Bournemouth. That's where I met Meg, and the rest is history, really. Yeah.
Brilliant. And how did you come to know the Lord?
Well, that's an interesting question because I've always envied people who can say, I went to this concert or went into this little green tent at camp or whatever and gave my heart to the Lord. I've got no such date at all because I was born into a Christian family. My father went to an open air meeting when he was a young man and obviously gave his heart to the Lord. He joined a Brethren church, and he met my mum, who was a Methodist. They got married, so she went along to the church with him, and therefore I was born into a Christian home. I can't remember a time when I wasn't a Christian. I can remember back to when I must have been 6 because my mum was expecting my younger brother, who's 7 years younger than me, and she asked me the question, did I believe that Jesus died for me? And I answered, of course I do. And I couldn't understand why she cried because I thought, what have I said wrong? Because I was only 6 and it really puzzled me at the time. I know she was expecting because she had her feet up. Obviously, her legs were swelling. I didn't know that at the age of 6 either. So she was obviously crying tears of joy, but I wondered if I'd said something wrong. So I knew I was saved then. I was baptized at the age of 10, and I've always been to church on Sundays. It's been part of my life, really. I think the most memorable bits is when God has spoken directly to me, not in an audible voice, but like injected a message into my brain. And that's been very life-changing in my life, really. So no special date.
That's great, thank you. What do you enjoy doing the most?
Well, I've always been a practical person. At school, I loved gardening and loved music and loved making things, woodwork, and all that kind of thing. So I'm very practical. And throughout our married life, I've done up several houses and done all kinds of jobs and enjoyed making things. So I'm really blessed at the moment because where we live, I've got a workshop and it's fairly well equipped with all kinds of machinery and things, and so I can really lose myself in my workshop. I enjoy gardening, I enjoy walking, enjoy just general life. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian, how has COVID-19 affected you?
Well, it's been a real time of blessing, really, in a sense, in that I'm usually helping lots of other people out. I've got a list of people who call on me for help. And of course, I've been isolating. So I've been forced to stay at home. And there's so many jobs around this place that need doing. So I spent the last 7 or 8 weeks painting and repairing and doing various jobs around the place. And I've still got plenty to do as well. So as far as I'm concerned, it can go on a little bit longer.
Meg's list is getting longer as well.
Possibly, but she's delighted because she's getting a few jobs done. Yeah.
Do you have a verse of scripture you'd like to share with us?
Well, I've got many actually, but as I prayed about this, a verse came to mind that I've always known, and in fact, we used to sing it, and it's found in Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. It's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your paths. That's been a verse that's been with me throughout my life as I've just followed the Lord, really, and he's impacted upon my life. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Brian.
Okay.